me, Renee. I'm back, and I'm here to do a little update on my weekend. Because yeah, as I said before the weekend, I went away. I saw a Disney concert on Friday, and then on Saturday I went and saw Lion King again. Hadn't seen it in quite a while, and yeah, this is gonna be a little chatty update with you guys, and also a little reading wrap up because I finished two books. Finished two books. That's poetic. Sorry, I finished one book. I started one other, but I didn't finish the other one. No, sorry. I finished one book. I bought a second book. Started it. Haven't finished it yet. So yeah. To take it back a bit, I went on first day. I went by train. It's a 8-hour train ride from where I live to where I went to the capital, Oslo. And so I usually so a lot of other people kind of like to do planes all the time. I very much enjoy doing the trip on by a plane. I feel like it's a nice trip. I mean, yes, it takes a while, but like in my mind, yes, it's 8 hours, but 8 hours could also be looked at as two books, which yeah, was what I did actually. Finished two books on a train ride. I finished another book also. That one, yeah, you know what? Moment. Yeah, I finished two books, and I bought one book. I forgot about that one book because yeah, I finished two books on a train ride, and one of them was not that good. I mean, it was unmemorable. That's why I forgot about it. So yeah, kind of says what you need to know, really. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about those, and yeah, let's do that first. So yeah, first I finished City of Villains by Disney, no, by Disney, by Estelle Laurie. This is actually first in a series. Though honestly, like at the beginning, it kind of felt for me like it was second in a series because like it threw you right into a world that kind of was established and stuff. So like in the first second chapter, I just kind of had to put the book away and like Google like what's the first book and whatnot. Turns out this is the first book. I mean, sometimes you have a book that's a spin-off of another thing, or like a book that's first you have a novella and then you have a novel. So I suppose that could have happened, but pretty sure this is the first book. So yeah, that was kind of the first red flag, or at least red flag-ish for my taste. I felt like, yeah, jumping completely into like a new world with like not much like you just kind of yeah along for a ride. I mean, yeah, you can't world build forever, but I feel like if you're gonna have a new world with like new rules and stuff, either have like a part in the beginning where it's just like a few pages where it just kind of says straight up what's happening, like just kind of like a pamphlet or like a yeah like a prologue ish thingy. Though this book does have a prologue, but yeah, or like have the book be longer and then establish more stuff and then go into things because yeah, this book as you can see it's not that long. It is 250 pages, and honestly, I feel like books at that size I kind of feel like they should be like it takes a lot to have a book around 250 pages good because at least for my taste I feel like it often takes time to get into something. Whether it's fantasy book always a content book like anything you kind of have to establish things first. So having a book that feels complete and feels yeah complete in 250 pages is like that doesn't happen often, at least not in my cases really. I feel like yeah, not often of those shorter books kind of work as a whole project really. And yeah, this one didn't. I like yeah. My first problem, I felt like it kind of was thrown into a world where I didn't really understand things, and it was like big. I mean, it's a world set in our world, I suppose, in a Hunger Games style, in a way that like okay, so this okay, so the setting is in the U.S. It's talk about California, but not much, but it's mentioned. But the city where we are in is a fictionalized city. And like, yeah, it's about fictionalized characters and all that stuff. So it kind of feels like it could have just been urban fantasy, like, or it could have just been honestly high fantasy and just took it take it out of world entirely, but she didn't. I suppose she kind of wanted some urban aspects to it, but I mean, yeah, well, they had cars now and then, so I suppose, but, yeah. And then I don't know, I kind of felt like I didn't really care about the characters that much, and things happened very quickly. Like, yeah, within the second or third chapter, one of the main character's best friend is kidnapped or like at least gone missing, and I was like, yeah, should I care? At least for me, I feel like in books, at least I feel like for me, yeah, I feel like I really enjoy books. I feel like you can really expand, you can elaborate, you can go deep into things. Of course, yeah, I know in movies and TV series you should go fast, like having a TV series where people just talk or where people just think a lot. I mean that happens, but I think often in TV series you should have more action. Well, I think in books it works where you have people talking to each other. It's a good way of establishing the world and such. And yeah, as in that way, I don't really like that this book either because yeah, stuff happened, but this book isn't short, so everything happened, boom, 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 and I'm like, why should I care about people dying and being in peril? Well, I don't really like. I don't really feel like it's. You don't really invested in characters. If you just meet characters and the characters you just meet, you haven't really have time to bond or care about are in peril. It's like I don't care. And I feel like also kind of same thing actually in TV series or movies. Like if someone dies in the first 5 minutes, you're like interesting, but you're not very interested because you didn't really meet them. If someone dies quickly in the first 5 minutes and then you flashback to them, cool. Here you didn't really have flashbacks. You just like went from start to finish, and it's like yeah, I didn't really feel like this kind of did what I wanted to do or what it tried to do. At least I suppose I didn't really know what it tried to do. Try to like be an urban fantasy with like Disney villains twist, and I suppose it was kind of interesting, but yeah, execution was poor to say the least. So yeah, this I already like put in my pile to go to charity, and yeah, it's going to be a charity because even though I didn't enjoy it, doesn't mean no one else will. So yeah, and also that being said, I haven't it wasn't the most awful book in the history of the world. Like it wasn't a 1 star, almost more like a soft 2 star. I would say like it was or like 2.5 stars. So yeah. And luckily after that, I picked another book that I very much enjoyed. It was Almost There, A Twisted Tale on The Princess and the Frog by Farah Roshan. This is a UK cover, in case you're like curious about like what? That's the Almost There cover? Yeah, it's a UK cover. So in this version, so the Twisted Tales is a publishing series um, where authors take the different different Disney movies and like do like a what if version of it. And in this one, the thing is that okay, in the beginning, it's quite like how it is in the movie. Like he's running away from Facilier. It's all the other things has happened. And at the end, she takes a deal by well, at the end in this beginning, she takes a deal by Facilier because by now she's still a frog. She takes a deal by him because he says he can give back her father, and she can remember she misses her father so much. She says like, you know what, I want my father back. So she gets her father back, but because of this, and also Louis becomes a man. But because of this, Naveen doesn't remember what happened. He lost his memory of the time together. And then you go 1 year into the future from that, and then things happen. It kind of, I would say, this book kind of gives you more of a feel of like New Orleans as a city in a way. I would say it adds some new characters. It adds elaborates to some characters that you already knew, and yeah, very much enjoy this. I mean, Princess and the Frog is one of my favorite Disney movies, so it is kind of a banger, kind of a no-brainer that I would enjoy this. But yeah, I very much did. Also, Silly Me, I did like because almost there, not almost there. A Twisted Tale. This is actually for 13th, I believe, book in that universe. I tried to use Twisted Tale book earlier, and I DNF'd and didn't like it. And then for some reason I thought, yeah, Twisted Tale isn't for me. And then I read this and thought like, okay, it's very good. And I remembered the Twisted Tale series is a series of it's a series in the way that they're like it's the same concept, but they have different authors behind them. So of course, I've already read some Farrah Rochon books, and I love her writing. So yeah, I'm gonna love this book as well. I mean, if you like authors' writing, often you're gonna like a lot of what they write. Also, if they write about stuff you really enjoy, Disney princesses, yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna think. Yeah, I am gonna pick up more Twisted Tale books, but just aware who's doing the writing. And yeah, so yeah, finished that one, and then I bought this at Twisted Tale anthology. So this is, as you might just kind of guess, it's lots of short stories based around the idea Twisted Tale. So it's both with stories that you already have published, like there is Prince and the Frog story here as well. Sorry, but there's also a Snow White story. What's the word again? What's the name again? Sleeping Beauty story. There's a Treasure Planet story. Yeah, there's quite a lot of stories. I plan to read this soon, but yeah, I have started it. Oh, lost my mark. But yeah, I have started, but just slightly. So yeah. Uh, and then yes, so yeah, that I did on the train ride over. Then I got to Oslo. I went to my sister's the first night. Met my sister, my husband-in-law. Yeah, my brother-in-law, husband-in-law. Well, I suppose. Yeah, and my nephew, my niece. My niece. I mean, she was born in June, so now she's about 6 months old. And I last saw her when she was in August, and she was cute then. I would say she's more cute now because she kind of, I suppose, yeah, I mean, they get cuter and cuter, at least I feel like. But yeah, she has kind of more, like, she's grown more into her face. It's not just a random babe, like, you can see more of her face now. It's more, yeah, face shaped. That's the way to see it. And yeah, I got to hold her a while, and yeah, she's just so smiley and lovely, and yeah, I really, really like her. And then, yeah, on Friday, me and my sister, we just kind of well, actually, we did a bit of a walk around the center. We also decided to be cultured, so we went to the National Museum. None of us had been. Well, my sister had been there, but that was no, she hasn't been there before. She wanted to go there, and I haven't been there before. And so I kind of thought like a National Museum it would just have Norwegian artists, but they had some Picasso there as well. So it's like, why is the Picasso in a National Museum? But okay. And they also had like a room with statues of Greek myths and stuff like that. So like some different statues, and I kind of very much like that room. And there was one room with a picture of Monk, the Norwegian painter who painted the Scream. And yeah, honestly, I hadn't really looked into it before, but right now I kind of feel like Monk. I don't really feel like it's that good of an artist, really. I feel like other paintings are nicer, really. I didn't like that one that much. But yeah, you can like everything. So yeah, we went around a bit here and there, and there was this one room where they had dresses from the two Norwegian queens, because there's only been two, because we've been so long on a different countries, like from 1300 to like 1905, because first we were under Denmark in 500 years, and then we went under Sweden. So we only actually had our own kingdom and our own like country for the last 100 years ish. So yeah, so we only had two queens, like yeah, two Norwegian queens. And yeah, so they had like dresses from both those queens, and they were quite nice to look at. And yeah, All in all, National Museum, I liked it, but I don't know. I kind of feel like I've been to more interesting museums. Like my sister said, like a museum is a museum. I don't know. I quite like museums, but I suppose for me it's like a museum has to it has to either be like doing the exhibitions in a different, interesting style, which I think sometimes happens, or they have to like have exhibitions about something you don't know about. Like last year when I went to US, we went to some museums in Philadelphia, and there they had like museums on they had a museum on the history of the American Revolution and like American wars and stuff. And I didn't really know a lot of stuff about that. And yeah, I quite liked going around there. And it wasn't like a brain uh it wasn't like a not brainstorming, mind blowing museum, but was something I didn't know that much about. So I quite liked it. And then I also went to some museums in Washington DC, and there was also some stuff there I didn't know about. So yeah, when it's stuff that you don't know about, you can just have normal stuff. But like here in the National Museum, quite a lot of stuff I haven't had seen before, and yeah, it wasn't really all that much really in my mind. Yeah. And then yeah, after that we went to a cafe, and this actually kind of fun. This cafe and actually just called like uh baked bar. So like they just had buns, different types of like they didn't have cupcakes or muffins or like different things. They just had buns with like cream on it, and I think it was kind of nice concept. My sister had one with cinnamon, and I kind of liked her better. I had one with salted caramel, and it was good, but I kind of liked hers better. But yep. After that, I went to the store where I got this book, and I also got Dixit, the Disney version. So I already played Dixit. It's been some years ago now, 2 years ago. Yeah, but this Dixit Disney version came out this year because of the Jubileum. So I kind of thought, like, you know what? I'm a big Disney fan. I'm gonna buy this. So yeah, this weekend kind of became my unofficial Disney weekend. I read Disney books. I bought new Disney stuff. I went to Disney concert. I saw a Disney movie. And yeah, then after that, I went back to my sister's, got my stuff because I had my stuff here there for the day. And then I went to my cousin's because I was going to stay there for the weekend because, oh, why not? Though, not sure how much well, it was nice. But like her kids were quite randy and noisy, so that was an interesting experience. But anywho, so yeah, then I went to my cousin's, put my stuff down, had dinner, and then I went to a concert. I suppose, yeah, maybe I'll stop right here, like ask, who do you go to concert with? Well, my dear friends, I went to concert with a person you know dear very much. It was myself. Yeah. Okay, so like I've asked some people to go to a concert with me, like because I have some friends who like Disney as well. But like, firstly, it's like I suppose you had different types of tickets, but like the tickets were either pretty expensive to like expensive, like downright expensive. Also, they were more like from not expensive, but not cheap, like kind of middle to expensive. And yeah, some of my friends they couldn't really afford it. And then I have some friends like some friends from other side of the country. They couldn't because they couldn't afford it. And yeah, friends here. I didn't think they could afford it too. And also like going to the other side of the country to see a concert, it's something you do, but like you also have to pay for the trip over there, so it's like an extra thing. So yeah, I end up going with my lovely self, which is something I do now, man. Like if I want to do something and no one I know want to do it, I go to it. I go and do it myself. Like I'm not gonna miss out on a concert, theater experience or a movie experience because no one I know wants to see it. Like if I want to see it, I want to see it. I'm not gonna like be stopped by convention that you have to do stuff together. No, So yeah, I went to the concert by myself, and yeah, it was also kind of fun because like because the concert it wasn't in the middle of the center in Oslo. It was kind of a bit outside of Oslo. So I took a bus, and then surprise, surprise, a lot of people on the bus were also going to the concert because yeah, I mean, wouldn't be that surprising really, and I overheard them doing that. And so yeah, talked to some people a bit like on the way from the bus to the concert because the concert the bus stopped someplace and you have to like walk for 10 minutes. So like we tried to find like a walking that way, and then there were some signs near, oh, it's that way. And yeah, so I talked to some people for a bit, but mostly I just put in my own head and just very excited to see the concert. And then I went inside. It was long. It was a long queue to get inside. I went inside, sat down, and yeah, quite excited. Of course, I suppose as happens often, I honestly I haven't really been to a ton of concerts in my life. I've been to some, but not a lot. But at least, yeah, the concert didn't start before like 5 minutes over when it was supposed to start. It was like, yeah, that's kind of sad. Uh, but okay, so the first okay, so I suppose in case you don't really know, like, so what I knew about the concert, I knew there was gonna be like a concert of like celebrating Disney 100 years. So like it was being advertised as like there's gonna be songs. There's gonna be they will advertise some Norwegian singers, so we knew some of the people who were gonna sing. And there's also gonna advertise that it's gonna be an orchestra. So like sometimes you would have an orchestra playing. Sometimes it would occupy the it would accompany the singer, and sometimes they would just like play the Imperial March, and then you'll see the scene and whatnot, stuff like that. And that's kind of what I knew really. I didn't really. Oh yeah, I knew that, and they also said like, and lots of surprises. I felt like, oh, surprise, fun. It's Disney 100, so I suppose Disney will probably go all out, so they can do like fun surprises. And also, they also said like merchandise will be sold. So like, oh, cool. Both stuffs kind of gave me some expectations. And yeah, not that they weren't met, but yeah, bear with me. So yeah, then it starts after 5 minutes. They start, and they have the first act is "We Are Guests" by from the Beauty and the Beast, and actually did the guest that did simultaneously. So one singer was like standing over here singing in English, and one was standing over here singing in Norwegian, and it was just quite fun like to like see like them doing the same time, like the same song but two different languages. It's like, oh, cool. Because I was kind of thinking before I went to this concert, like, will I do it in Norwegian or English? Like, because like it is Norway, and of course Disney animated movies, you have the songs in that translated. They're dubbed. I mean, Disney's one of the few things that are dubbed in Norway. But like, and also, but like, still, people like also know a lot of the songs also in English, so I suppose people know them in both languages. And yeah, they end up doing like the whole night of like going between languages. Sometimes they did a song in just one language, sometimes they did it in both, and sometimes yeah, so they went between the languages really. And yeah, I quite like that. So like they had like a big opening number would be, I guess they had lots of singers on the stage like singing about that. Nice costumes. They didn't look like the people from the movie costumes, but like they had nice dresses and stuff. And then boom, and then that was finished. And then the kind of what's the word again? Yeah, there was a host. That's a Norwegian. What do you want to call it? Call him. I'm just gonna call him celebrity because he's kind of one of those people who is everything. He's not really one. Well, celebrity and comedian because he's a comedian. He's not really a stand-up comedian, but like he makes skits. He makes sketches now and then. Well, he used to do them sometimes, and now I think maybe he writes stuff now and then. And yeah, it's kind of like everything man. But yeah, he's been known as like a guy who likes Disney, and so he was the host of the day. Like he was gonna do introduction to songs and whatnot. And yeah, and so we said like, yes, tonight you're gonna have a very good time. People are here. The people who like orchestra behind me, they're the Hollywood Orchestra. Like, oh, because I kind of assumed that the orchestra that was gonna be there was gonna be a local. No, Hollywood Orchestra. So, and he said also like this orchestra and this ensemble has been traveling around on a tour the whole like for months. He didn't say the whole year. He said for months. So yeah, supposedly they have been traveling on around on tour, and then I suppose they probably kind of have local singing, but like the people who are singing like from the core are probably uh yeah from the ensemble are going everywhere, and then you have some locals join them like every place. And yeah, having a Hollywood orchestra coming to Oslo, Norway, quite fun. And yeah, it was very good orchestra. They did a very good job. No, it was not orchestra, but really, but yeah. So yeah, there's that. And I didn't really say that much about like the singers. They weren't really like singers that I knew. Like there weren't any. None of the singers were like uh examples. Like there weren't people who did like dubbing from the movies. Like you didn't have, and now I'm just blacking out. You didn't have Mandy Moore singing from uh, Tangled. You didn't have Idina Menzel. You didn't have any of those people do it. But the singers who came, like they had good voices, but it wasn't really any big names. The Norwegian names were like kind of big names, I would say. One of them had done like some voices for Disney movies, so I suppose that was kind of obvious that he was invited. But yeah, kind of fun. And yeah, so we just kind of went on singing, and I would say for most part they did like songs, but sometimes they did like melodies where they did a theme from, well, they did Imperial March, they did the theme from Pirates of the Caribbean. They did they do another? No, I think it was those two that they did. Yeah, and they also did like one from Avengers. So yeah, those three they did. So that was quite fun. They kind of did lots of different songs. And I was kind of curious, like which songs can I choose, because I mean they have so many songs. They end up doing both songs from like the older movies, but also newer movies. They like did a song from Cinderella. And then they did, I was gonna say, you know what, I would say they mostly did newer movies, like movies from the 90s and forward in time. So yeah, it was actually kind of fun because the extra number was songs from Lion King. I don't think that would like be in the main acts of the concert, but no, that was extra number, but still cool. Um, and yeah, also in the middle of it, they did the bare necessities from Jungle Book, and they actually had like the lyrics on the screen, so he could kind of like it was kind of meant as to do like a sing along. And yeah, most of us did like sing along to it, and that was quite fun, really. I did that one in Norwegian, but yeah, it was still quite fun, really. I wouldn't really say that I have a big connection to the Jungle Book, but I do like that song, and yeah, kind of fun to like sing along to like with everyone in the audience, and also singing along to people on stage. Quite fun. What I would say, kind of like uh minus bad thing, really. Okay, so yeah, as I said, because both both Norwegian and English singers. One of the English singers, like at one point, I think like maybe it was like when when we were singing the necessities, because we were singing that one in Norwegian. It was another thing. Yeah, because also for some reason the whole like all the singers were on the stage while we were singing the necessities, but like some of them didn't know Norwegian. I think they probably just mimed and just danced. Though I didn't pay attention, maybe they did sing it. I didn't notice them sing it bad, but at least like one time, I don't remember actually like exactly when, but like one time, one of the English singers at one time he was like looking at the audience and he's like, and I was just like, what? I mean, yes, we're a Norwegian audience, but you don't need to like do this. It just kind of seemed patronizing to me. Kind of like yes, thumbs up is like an established thing for like a symbol for like good. This is going good, but doing two, okay, cool. But like I don't know. That sounds cool, but like he's more like I kind of felt like he was like looking down on us, like we're kids because we're on Disney concert. I don't know. Maybe this is me just kind of interpreting it too much, but it kind of felt, yeah, like he was kind of thinking, "Good on you," or like, "Cool." Yeah, I didn't like that. And also, it wasn't like, I mean, just because it's a concert in Norway, it doesn't mean that everyone who's in the audience was Norwegians. Like, on the way back, I heard some Spanish people talking from like that had been on the concert, and like, yeah, a lot of the songs were in English, so I suppose. And also, Norway, it's not like it's a locked country. We have plenty of expats. We have people who are refugees, people who are coming to Norway because of love, people who are coming to Norway because they want a job. I mean, lots of people who aren't originally Norwegian end up living in Norway. So all the people in the audience probably weren't Norwegians. I'm gonna think, well, I don't know, but like probably more than the ones I heard. So yeah, and also even if there had only been um, Norwegians in the audience, I mean Norway is pretty known for like having a good vocabulary and knowing English. Like we're one of the few countries in the world, I would say. Well, one of the few in the world. Sounds weird. Well, yeah, we're one of the few in the world who's kind of known for like knowing a lot of good English, even though it's not our first language, it's not our official language here. But I suppose because here in Norway we have the TV series from Hollywood, we have the movies from Hollywood, and like in Norway we don't dub stuff. We have subtitles. We don't dub stuff, and we have lots of songs in English. So yeah, English is just kind of all around us. I mean, it helps when things isn't dubbed. So yeah, we know a lot of English here in Norway. I mean, probably a lot of us could be shy and don't want to use it, but I think most of us understand it. Quite a lot of us understand it. So I don't know. It's just it put me off. It can put me off. Um. So yeah, that was Craft Minus. I didn't quite enjoy it really. And then because yeah, and this is more plus. Like this, the concert was like a long concert. It was like for 4 hours actually, more or less. It began at 8 o'clock in the evening and ended up like 10:30. So yeah, well 9, 10. Okay, yeah, 3.5 hours, but like yeah, quite a while really. But then because of how long the concert was, they ended up having a well, they had a break in the middle of it. So like then yeah, you can go to the bar or whatever. So I went to like kind of look for the merchandise because they were supposedly having some sale like merchandise. So I'm thinking like, oh, cool, you have some cool effects and things. And I was just kind of thinking maybe they had some cool Disney clothes, like for example, this one showing my breast. This one is a T-shirt of Stitch on the sea in Hawaii. I mean, yes, this one I bought last year in Denmark, so I didn't buy it in. Well, I actually didn't buy it in a Disney store, but I think it is official still. Like, yeah. Anyway, they didn't have anything like that. What they did have a T-shirt for adults and a T-shirt uh for kids. I think maybe they had a different T-shirt also because I saw one person having a sweater at the like in the audience, and that kind of looked like it bought their hair, but I didn't see it afterwards, so maybe it was sold out because I suppose maybe people went to merchandise before the concert started. That it could have been it. But yeah, but all the merchandise just kind of sell like Disney 100 concert, 100 years concert, and then just the names of different songs on them, and that's it's like they just had the one design. I was like, yeah, and then they weren't really that cheap. They were like 40. How much? Weren't really that cheap. They were like one of them was $40. Like $40 for that T-shirt. It's nice. It's not that nice. I did end up buying a poster. The poster was just $10. I feel like $10. It's not that expensive, at least not for Norway really. $10 is nothing really. So yeah, then I bought the poster, went back, saw the rest of the show, and I feel like I had a plan. Yeah, I mean, as I said, the advertisers were saying like there's gonna be celebrating 100 years of Disney. There's gonna be songs and movie clips and a concert, and also said surprises. So like for the whole concert, I was kind of thinking, okay, what is the surprise? What is the surprise? But also they said surprises, so I kind of expect more than one surprise. And I kind of felt like there never really was a surprise. I mean, at the beginning, like, because the concert was announced like last November, and then we just didn't know much at all. And then in February, we kind of knew some people was coming to singing, and then we got the last name a few weeks ago, so we knew. As was we didn't know the people from the US or like the English speaking singers. We knew the names of all the people from Norway going singing. We knew the host. I mean, we didn't know the set lists. But I don't know. How do you define a surprise? Is surprise simply something you don't know? I feel like a surprise has to be something like unexpected because, like, yeah, in a way, surprise could be everything you don't know, but then everything about the future is a surprise. No, I don't know. It's kind of like, and also I feel like a surprise. It's not really. It shouldn't really be something that you can guess yourself to. Like, if they kind of thought like surprise would be like because they didn't like say what the set list was. No, they didn't. But like you could probably guess that they're gonna say a whole new world, and wish they did. So yeah, I didn't really feel like they had any surprises really. I kind of feel let down by that. I kind of had thought that maybe they as was afterwards I can kind of think about this like, surprise. I didn't get any surprises. I'm kind of miffed about this. As was, I kind of thought like maybe they could have included Elton John coming to sing for one song. I suppose maybe it's a bit much for him to come. Maybe it could be like through Zoom and he could sing like in his own house, but just sing on Zoom because I mean he did Lion King and he's very famous for that. I mean they could have done that. They could have done many more. It could have been something like that. They could have done like for example they could have done like some songs from Wish which is the new Disney movie coming out in November. I mean they could have done songs from that one. I mean they had like the trailer from Wish like before in the pause in the break and also before it started, but like still it's like that was already public, so that wasn't really a surprise. I feel like they could have done so many stuff to like surprise. But they didn't really. I suppose the only thing is surprise I could call it surprise would be like the one time that they had like a sing along concept to it. But other than that, well, the host told us that he had talked to some people over Disney and they confirmed that Frozen 3 is like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. We already knew that. I mean, that's been talked about before. That has been confirmed. I mean, it's been mentioned that script has been worked on and stuff. So, yeah, at least I, as a Disney fan, know that, and I kind of assume pretty much a lot of people in the audience knew about like our Disney fans, so they know about Disney news, so they already knew that. So I was like, yeah, okay, that's not a surprise. So yeah, I kind of felt left out. I didn't really feel like we got any surprises. I mean, I think surprise might be like that they were so good, but like then again, don't really think you would have a concert with Disney where you would have just like amateurs singing. You would have people with big voices. That's kind of a no-brainer, really. So yeah, that was kind of yeah a bit of a letdown, really. I suppose maybe just me having big expectations, but I feel like yeah. I mean, if the plan isn't to do anything more than like singing and having an orchestra, that don't include the word surprise in the announcement. Like, just don't say there will be surprises. I mean, I love the concert. I'm very much in love with the concert, but I'm miffed that we didn't get surprises. Why are miffed? Because you promised us surprises. Yeah, miffed there. Also, kind of interesting because, like in the, as I said, yeah, back. But yeah, in the break, you can go to, if you wanted to, you could go to a bar. Actually, I think there was maybe two bars because it kind of looked like two bars. Yeah, anyway, one of the bars at least said had like a sign. One of the bars had a sign like a name of the bar. It said Hercules Bar. I was like, cool. I was kind of thinking, did I name the bar that because of the concert? Or is it always called the Hercules Bar? It was also kind of thinking like Hercules Bar. I don't really feel like Hercules goes to that many bars in the movie that he's in. Yeah, anywho. So that was, yep, that was, I suppose that was kind of it. I was talking about the concert. It was, all in all, it was a good experience. I very much enjoyed the concert. And you know what? I don't think they're going to see this, so I'm going to tell you guys this. I think it might be my favorite experience, at least like my top five list of concerts, and I think it might be my favorite nights of the year. And I feel that's a bit mean to say maybe because I did get two nieces this year, but that didn't happen to me specifically. Well, happened to me, but yeah, I like the concert more. Likely, hopefully they won't see this. I'll be that mad, but yeah. So yeah, I did that. Yeah, and then after the concert, I had to queue to walk out again because there were so many people in the concert. Queue to walk out again, and then I had to find the bus back because, of course, because we went in at one side of the building and went out side another side of the building. It's like finding a bus again wasn't that easy. I got a bit lost, but then found the bus stop, and yeah, got back. It was okay in the end. And then on Saturday, I went and yeah, saw Lion King with my cousin and her family, which for most part was nice. Okay, so the thing is, my cousin, she has two kids, a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. And yeah, I don't know if you know this, but technically, at least Norway, Lion King actually has like you have to be like 6 to be able to see it, or like you have to be 6 to see it by yourself. I suppose some people take like the 5-year-old seats, but yeah, the the official age limit is 6 years old. But yeah, I mean, one of the kids was 4, and she was there anyway. And I feel like Lion King is it's not probably that scary of a movie. I think the probably thing is that you can't see it if you're under 6. It's more like the attention span because it's kind of a long movie. And towards the end, the little girl started to just kick the chair of the people in front of her. She just yeah, she did not hold the concentrate on the movie. She started to just about be all over the place, and yeah, that kind of bothered me really because I sat next to her, and kind of it didn't ruin my experience, but it was yeah. I'm kind of gonna hope that my sisters don't take their kids to a 6-year-old movie before they're 6, or like before the year they turn 6 at least, or before at least they know they're mature enough. Because yeah, it's something if you like turn on a movie for like 6, 7-year-olds in your house, fine, because then it just affects the people in your house. But if you do it in the cinema, it affects the people around you in the cinema. So yeah, think about that, please. So yeah, um, and yeah, then after the cinema Lion King movie, uh, I went to my other sisters. I have 3 sisters, and 2 of them live over in the eastern part of Norway. So I went, yeah. So I went to the other sister, met her kid again, well, her kids. She got a new kid in May. Yes, both those sisters got new kids this year. and that kid was just so lovely. And her husband made a very good pizza. We ate pizza. We talked. We enjoyed ourselves. It was very nice. And also her oldest kid gave me a bracelet. Was usually made herself. It was just precious. Sadly, I lost the bracelet when I went to the train. But I mean, yeah, it happens. So yeah, and then after that I went back to my cousins, and my cousin had kind of wanted to do something with me, so we ended up actually watching actually 2 episodes of Gilmore Girls. But my cousin, being a bit tired, having a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old, I mean, they have a lot of energy, so she ended up sleeping for most of the Gilmore Girls episode. And yeah, and then after that, on Sunday I went back here, and yeah, that's kind of how my weekend went. And yeah, all in all, it was quite a nice weekend. And I did quite enjoy it. Nice experience, and yeah, and yeah, that, my friend, is the wrap up of my weekend. And as you might have noticed, yeah, I also got a bit of a cold after the weekend. Like it started, like actually, like I was a bit tired on Friday, but I was like just a bit tired. I was like, ah, it's probably nothing. But then yesterday, like my throat began to hurt a bit. So no, actually yesterday, actually Sunday, my throat began to hurt a bit, and then hurt more yesterday. Now for most like today, yesterday, it's mostly been my throat. It's been a bit of my nose. I did like today. I just kind of checked just to be curious. I just checked if I had COVID. I don't have that, so it's probably just a cold. But yeah, that's kind of not fun to have a cold. But what can you do? Sometimes that happens, and that's why my voice is how it is. And also, I forgot my mascara at my cousin's, so that's why my eyes are how they are. And yeah, cross my fingers that my cold will go away soon. And until that, then I'm just trying to relax a bit. And yeah, I'm actually going to tonight to the cinema to see my sister. It's a Norwegian movie about a historical uprising and for like workers, and it's set in a place that I used to go very much as a kid. And I think it's already also got like a rumor like the movie might be like produced might be like put in cinemas and stuff outside of Norway, because I feel like people have talked about it in like movie circles. I think it's called like the working revolution, something like that in English. I'm not quite sure. In Norwegian, it's just called Sulis 1907, which is the place and the year. Though I did see like an interview where they said like it's taken place over several years, but I suppose one of the years is 1907. And yeah, talked for quite a while now and need to rest my voice. And yeah, if you read any of the books, if you've been to Disney concert, and if you just want to say hi and talk about what your weekend was like, you can do that. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.